Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Shamanic Sunday, where I have Shaman Jason with me tonight. And we are back here doing the Shaman Sunday for the next couple more weeks. And we came back today to bring to you some healing tonight. But as Jason, when he got here and I said, "What are we doing tonight?" And he's like, "I don't know." Well, that's how this journey works. You don't always know what it is that you're delivering when you're channeling information and you're pulling in guidance and different ancient shamans that he connects to. And if you missed last week and you want to learn a little bit about Jason and you want to learn a little bit more about, the shamanic journey and the shamanic healing, you can go back to last week's live that we did. But tonight we're going to talk to you about coming here and doing an actual ceremony. We talked about fire ceremony last week and how that's really like coming into the alchemy of yourself, and everything about who you've been is letting that go. And we're all going through that. We're all redefining who we are, and we're creating these new identities. And obviously we have to let go of a version of ourselves, but then bring in a new version. And that's one of the things that we're going to be doing at the Sedona retreat that's coming up October 3rd through 7th. Make sure to check that out if that's of interest to you. But in the meantime, I'm going to let Jason start and share a little bit about what we're going to do tonight.
Thanks, Harmony. So this is going to be led by Spirit, actually, because we had so much information come through last week. And one of the things that we did talk about, which is coming to me now, is how to open yourself up to connect with your guides, Spirit, so that you can start to receive information and healing. We'll get to that in a second. One thing I want to share with you is after last week and after the show, and then Harmony and I talked a little bit, and we were feeling so good. And that evening I went home, I went to bed, and kind of how it works for me is when I process, or when I'm healing something, or when something is being taken out of my energetic system, I wake up in the middle of the night and I process. And I woke up full of fear, full of anxiety, and full of worry. And I was releasing that energy and asking what was going on. Why was I feeling this? And what was beautiful is I got exposed last week. I opened up to, hey, this is who I truly am. This is a part of my soul that I'm sharing with the world. And there's a shadow part of me really doesn't like to do that, wants to stay small and hidden, wants to stay meek. And I use the word meek, meaning for me, I just want to hide. I don't want to actually let anyone know what I'm about. So as I expressed myself and those fears, that transition happened. And that was really uncomfortable to experience that intense emotions. And it was a lot of it was trapped in my heart. It was coming out of my heart, and the worry about getting hurt, just fearful of getting hurt, being attacked, being ridiculed. So, and I wanted to share that that's kind of how this works for me. I go through a process and I get energetically uplifted, and then something has to move to make room. And it looks ugly sometimes. And I just want to say that that's perfect. It should look ugly sometimes. It should feel ugly sometimes. You should snot cry and, all the good stuff to clean and clear the system. Well, that's just my take on it. So I just want to say I experienced that. And this week has been a very big week for me. And in this transition, what is beginning to take place for me is to pull into me what I need to experience for a successful life of abundance. And little things, when I ask for them, will show up the next day or within a few hours. And I have a couple experiences that happened that are in alignment with that. So I wanted to share that was a result of freeing myself from the fear and anxiety of being seen, being noticed, being open, being a part of myself, more in alignment with my highest timeline. And since that removed, then gifts are coming. So I'm really enjoying that. But we were going to share how to invite in your spirit guides, how to get your body ready for that. And that was a question that was posed last week. So I wanted to share a couple of things that I learned. One of the things you hear a lot of is raise your vibration, raise your vibration. Well, that's so true. If you don't know how to do that or put yourself in a position for your vibration to go from, I kind of stay really chill and then I get my vibration really high. So the way I do that is through gratitude and celebration. I start to feel gratitude in my stomach and then I move it up into my body. And once I get that gratitude moving, then I start feeling like, yes. And then I just kind of get into this celebrative mode. And when I do that, I start asking and sending out the signal from my heart intentionally, will you come in? And I call them in. I call in divine source, the archangels, angels, multidimensionals, ancestors, checkers, dragons, rainbow, fairies, guides, the energy of the earth, the sun, the moon, and everything in between. Please come in, please come in, please come in. The ancient ones, the old ones, the plant kingdom, the tree kingdom, which is the plant kingdom. So I just call them in, call them in, call them in, and then I just wait and wait and wait. Sometimes I'll get immediate response. Sometimes I don't get immediate response. Sometimes it takes 10, 15, 20 minutes before I get a nudge. And once I get that nudge, then I really have to allow myself to put my intention or my attention on my intention. So as I focus on what I'm asking for and I get into that flow, then I just sit in the awareness that I'm ready to listen and be communed with. And then my attention stays on staying present and available. So I hope that helps from last week of how I open myself up to receive from spirit guides and source.
Yeah, so I just want to piggyback that a little bit with some of the couple things we covered last week also about how the work Jason and I had done with each other based on the things we experienced individually and the things that we tapped into our guidance individually, and then the things we brought together, both of us, from the divine masculine and divine feminine energy that created even more powerful healing and reflection for ourselves than we could have done alone, and that we couldn't have tapped into those energies, or we couldn't have healed the way we healed without each other in that aspect. But really bringing that together, not only for our own healing, but to help other people heal. His background in massage therapy, my background in chiropractic and quantum physics and energy healing for a long time. And that's where all of that process has came forth to show us a way to help people in a way we wouldn't have known how to help people had we not done that together. And so that's what really sparked, because I was already doing the retreat in Sedona, which, by the way, if you haven't joined or heard me say, I'm moving there in 3 weeks, actually less than 3 weeks now. So I will have been moved there by the time the retreat. But he's joining me for the retreat to facilitate, help, and us to implement and share that wisdom that we learned together and the healing power that has helped us heal. And I just want to commend you as the divine masculine, because what he just described is what I teach you guys. The divine masculine are coming forth and expressing themselves. They're coming forth in their spiritual gifts. They're coming forth and sharing who they are. They're coming forth and being in their power. You're being in your power.
Yeah, 100%.
Like that. So this is so beautiful to see all collectively the divine masculine are stepping into their power. And so it's been so beautiful to watch you, to grow, expand, evolve, and step into that version of himself and to be that authentic. So he texted me, I think it was the next morning of last week after we had done the show. And he's been out talking, but until he came here last week to do the Shamanic Sunday with me, he's not fully come out and just like, okay, I'm going around the world. And he never hesitated once about it, nor would you probably even known that last week. But the thing about it is, like he said, you know, you're clearing something. So when you do something and you become authentic and you show up and you be open, raw, and you express yourself, now all of a sudden you get super vulnerable.
Super vulnerable.
Because you just lost and stripped up in the blanket, and you know, you become transparent. Now it's like can dig into these emotions that's like, oh, and I've done that too. Give me my blanket back.
Yeah.
Right? Like I want my blanket back. And it's like, oh, okay, there's gonna be no blanket anymore because you're gonna keep getting stripped.
Yes.
Like, and that's the thing. And that's what you're also describing, that is stepping into your authenticity. So coming forth this week, you know, we wanted to kind of, you know, we're going to do a 4-part series, but we also know we don't really know what, just like we didn't really know what exactly tonight's going to be about, nor do we know what the next couple Sundays are going to be about, nor do we even know 100% what the retreat's going to be about. But we know that we're here to help, and we know that we're here to share, and we know that we're here to authentically open up and allow ourselves, like he was talking about, the vessel to let that wisdom, that knowledge, that healing, that connection of divine source and guides and angels, and you know, the shamanic aspects that we all carry. But it's a manner of tapping into those gifts, which Jason was talking about a minute ago, about how can you tap into those gifts. So what we want to hear from you, if you have any specific healing that you need, if you have any specific, you know, activation that you might need, that you can share with us if you feel comfortable. And we're going to let guidance then take over now and just kind of channel in whatever it is needs to come through for some healing and powerful assistance for anybody that's open to receiving. So I'm going to let you lead on that, be the divine masculine and lead.
Okay, excellent. Please post a question. Please post anything that you're interested in starting a journey on, which you want to release and find out how this is stopping you from expressing yourself to the level that you want to. What I keep feeling, and I was really hoping something like this would start to happen. So I'm starting to feel energy come in, and I'm starting to feel this beautiful light. And the Arcturian Council is here. The Arcturians are here, and they're just really wanting to channel energy, and they're really wanting to reach out. Whoever is available to receive this, just open up, and I'm just going to tune in and see what they would like me. I'm Oren. In your realm, I would be considered a mystic. Have you ever noticed how your weather has the potential to shift your eating? Have you ever noticed how becoming heavy on darker days seems more comfortable? How do you feel when you eat cleaner and lighter? Meaning, your delicious fruit and vegetables. Just a simple awareness of how you experience your affairs based on an external influence, bringing your intention inward and openly experience this life the way that you would prefer to experience, detaching from the external influences. These are very normal ways of staying in a denser vibration, a denser presence, which is beautiful in and of itself. However, it seems that the elevation and evolution is calling for a lighter experience. And we will leave that food for thought. Peace be with you, dear ones. Oh, okay. So that was very interesting. Any comments? Any one feel aligned with that?
Daily practices could you advise people to do in order to follow this divine path, especially if they struggle with the concept of angels?
Oh, do you believe in yourself? First question, do you believe that you are a magnificent human being, that all parts of you are good and blessed, or whatever your perception is, but do you believe in yourself? And if you do, the very first thing that I do for myself is I start positive talk. Positive talk puts me in a place where now I'm open to experience what my beliefs, my energy, my resonance is all about. And it doesn't have to be about angels. It doesn't have to be about ancestors. It could simply be that I feel love for the environment, the trees, just the planet, or I feel love for seeing someone just across the street that I don't even know, and I see them as a human being. To me, that's divinity. If I'm recognizing love in another being of whatever variety that is, that for me is the way that I keep myself in the flow of what I call divinity. So I guess that would be my best suggestion if it isn't about other non-worldly things, but just being present in your body and then being present to what you feel good about. I would say that would be like the foundation. Because if I'm not focusing on the good in me, the non-suffering, then I'm focusing on suffering. When I shift into, I need to feel bad, pain, discomfort, things need to be difficult, rough, things aren't working out, other people aren't acting the way that I like them to act. When I get into that mindset, I experience turmoil. When I stay in a positive mindset and choose non-suffering, which I'm just learning how to actually put that into action in my daily life consistently, and it is feeling good. It's feeling good when that harsh thinking comes. Say, whoa, hold on, I don't want to spend time on that subject. I want to spend time on this subject, this beautiful moment. And I'll take a deep breath and I'll feel an expansion, and that will put me in my body. And for me, being in my body and feeling here and around is divinity. So I guess that's a pretty in-depth or wide or long explanation for something pretty simple. Maybe just take a deep breath, feel love, and smile.
Yeah, and you mentioned some breath work you felt connected to tonight that was coming through with breath work.
Yeah.
One thing real quick before we go there, I want to say to add to that is trusting yourself. Like, so when you get the nudges, so I would just say, okay, like probably what people are thinking, well, how do you know you're connecting to a guide? How do you know who the guide is? How do you know, like, the information you're receiving, is that from you? Is it from them? Where's it coming from? Like, how would you know? How did you know all these things? How did you?
Oh, wow, that's really good. Okay, so for me, my mind, when I talk to myself and I'm listening to myself work something out, there's a tone to it that is very grudging, like I'm working at it. When I get a visitation or I hear something or feel something, it doesn't feel like me. It feels so light and so good. When I feel that and I get an impression like, oh, is this Archangel Michael? I ask, who is this? Please tell me who you are. And I will get the sign that I need to be able to recognize that. For me, it's very visual. I just see. So I get to see Archangel Michael. And then I get to feel Archangel Michael. And then I'm like, whoa, okay. Sometimes I can hear Archangel Michael. So I just ask. And I think asking is the key.
And asking too, you can ask them also to show you their language. So like, and eventually over time, you'll learn to communicate in such a way that you know the energy of them. So when they show up at some point, it's like, I know this is Archangel Michael. I don't even have to question it because I've created such a connection that like, oh, this is just Archangel Michael. And they become like your best friends that hang out with you all the time. Right.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, like literally.
Yeah.
And so that definitely is a piece of that. And I just want to say something too, that last time when we did some of the channeling and Jason was doing was a female divine feminine shaman that came through you were channeling last time. I actually started like channeling in, and just without even thought, I was going over and doing like this energy healing on him, and I didn't even know what I was doing. I was just following through to do, which is some of the work we've done on each other, and we're doing at the retreat as well. But I didn't know, he was finishing up and he was leaving, and he goes, whatever you started doing to my neck, like it, and I had heard and saw like persecution. So I think a piece of it was about this expression, about you coming out, about you being authentic.
Cool.
But anyway, he was like, oh my gosh, like whatever you did like, transitioned a lot. And we had talked about how we might need a session or a few minutes after, but we actually got the healing with you guys last week. To where when we got done, we were both high as kites.
Yeah,
right. And so we experienced it too, and it felt really good. We had this really kind of went through some things that felt really heavy, and I said felt like molasses. Last week, and like it was like everything was just like, oh, I can't do anything, I can't move. When we finished last week, we both were like, just like, oh, like it felt like Mary. So I think a piece of it, Raise, is about you being open to receiving and believing. And that's where trusting yourself that you're connecting to them, trusting in the idea and the journey, because if you aren't, you're going to be constricted and you won't receive in the same way.
Race, who are you talking with? Who are you trying to build a relationship with? I'm just curious. Do you have a specific guide that you feel like's coming to you? Do you have a specific angel, or what do you have going on? I'm kind of curious.
Calling guides and drum dance. Okay, this isn't Raised, but okay. You're just calling your guides by drum and dance. You felt them and was channeling songs, and then at one point it felt like he was falling backwards and they were going to take over. Oh, that's so true. I was fearful and then stopped. And when you can't get fearful of it happening when they take over, but then it's surrendering into it.
Yes, just relaxing. So they're interested in your highest good and love, and you can create boundaries with guides. You can ask a little slower, please. It's like, hey, this is how I need you to be with me. So they'll work with you. When I started to experience Metatron, it got too intense for me. And I was just like, that's too much. I can't handle that. So it became, instead of him standing right behind me and me feeling the energy of Metatron, it seemed like a mile away. And I could work with that because then my nervous system was not ready for that. Mm-hmm. And I had to adjust to that. And now it's different. Now the energy comes in differently. So it's what I can handle. So all you got to do is ask, hey, will you do it at what I can handle? And then you find that out by trying. If you are drumming and you are trancing and you are starting to call and you are starting to let go, and then they're coming in stronger and stronger and stronger. And if you can't handle that, all you got to do is ask them, just say, that's too much. I need to pull back a little bit. And then if you pull back a little bit and you create what's comfortable with you, and then when you feel what is you're able to concentrate with and stay right there. I work with a fabulous friend of mine, GV. He's an amazing coach. And he is helping me understand how to hold energy in a certain place and use my mind to allow that to happen, to concentrate on that. And the more I just set with my attention on my intention. So my intention right now is that I just radiate love. So as I let myself express this love, I'm just going to focus on that feeling that's just present. And as I focus on that, that's comfortable for me. I can hold this consistently and have a conversation and stay in this feeling. And I can stay calm and I can stay present. If I go further than this, I can't stay calm and present, and I can't keep this consistency in my body. Then it becomes just, I'm not grounded. But here I can be grounded and I can feel this love. I can feel the openness. I can feel Dr. Harmony, and I can just like feel this gentle, beautiful feminine energy. And I can just sit here and I'm comfortable with that. Now, when I call into the guides and they're showing me what they want to do, at first I would just watch them and I wouldn't feel anything because I wasn't ready for that. I was just ready to watch. So that's how it was. But then I was like, well, how does that feel? So now I lean into that. And then when they started to come into my body, they were showing me what is possible. So as I became more willing to disappear, like right now, Archangel Jophiel is going to come in. Dear loved ones, just know we love you. We cherish you. We honor you. We know that you are so excited to experience these relationships. And we just want you to know it's safe. It's perfectly safe. It's beautiful. It's the divine connection. We all work together. You seem separate in your minds. It's just because you're having a different experience, but you're having the experience that we're having at the same time. When you get used to this, you'll feel so much more comfortable sitting in the radiant love. And as this love radiates, and as you realize this is something you're asking for, and it's being given to you because this is what you are calling to yourself, just know that we're always here thinking of you, supporting you, and loving you. No, dear ones, we would never do anything to cause any discomfort or harm. That is not how it works. It is the pure divine love, unconditional radiant love from the divine source. And we are merely here to help you step into your own radiance. So never worry. Just get used to the beautiful presence that you are and that we are. And as we all become unified, as we all experience oneness, blessings, love, and light. Oh. So, TM, as you can tell, when you allow and become comfortable with that, it's just okay. Many people work in many different ways. So find out how you work. Find out what feels the best for you, and then set your boundaries and start from there. That would be my suggestion.
Mm-hmm. So what about astral traveling? I astral travel quite frequently. Do you use this, and how do you navigate the ethers?
I think this would be a beautiful question. This is for Dr. Harmony. Yeah, this is for Dr. Harmony.
Okay. All right, I'm going to have to tune in to answer this for you. So give me a second.
Depois quem era poi a chinkili on poi era he ne kia shata poi shit was kela burn shock Astral travel is easy. Just make your mind up. Your cord cannot be broken. Just choose to go and then come back. Shit going on. Boy, ala shit kila.
So the soul resides in many dimensions, and the body itself is the heart of the seat of the soul. And so we're connected to the hara, and the hara connects to the universal intelligence of the almighty universal guidance, the universal galactic energy from the 31st, 32nd, and 35th through the 35th dimensions. And so these are layers. And within those layers, our entire etheric field connects and aligns with the fields of the universe. And so through that process, we're always connected, we're always one, we're always in alignment with that. But it's about tapping in and awakening to those dimensions, those fields, which mostly you have to get from the conscious to the unconscious, which is why most people astral travel when they sleep. And everyone astral travels when we sleep. But the only way to fully astral travel when you're awake is to shift beyond the conscious mind into the unconscious mind and connect to a place within that you trust and that you allow and that you believe and that you connect to in alignment with the universe from a place of your heart. And so anytime that you can align with your heart and truly connect to the ancient wisdom that resides within, that allows you to be the channel and the vessel for the ancient wisdom of the divine and the divine truth from heaven to earth, because we are the light, we are the pinnacle, we are the one, we are connected to the universal one, and we are connected to the universal mind that creates the divine mind within our higher self. And when you can tap into your ability to connect to your alpha brain, the alpha brain moves below the conscious level of thought and allows you to tap into parts of your brain you've not yet used. That's the genius within. And that genius within holds that ancient wisdom, holds the truths that you have yet to see, and it's been hidden. And through awakening and activating the pineal gland and removing the calcification, it will unveil and tap into the wisdom within through your ability to move beyond the illusions that have been passed down from generation to generation and through centuries and eons of time. And at this time, we have come back here in order to bring back the ancient wisdom of the star seed. And therefore, within us, that star seed wisdom is embodied within our soul and the memory and the template, and within the soul frequency that's connected through those dimensions and layers from our inner grid to the outer field into the universal grid and the universal field and the universal consciousness. And we feed through that through removing limitations of thoughts, feelings, emotions, and also increasing that vibration through the ability to eat better, eat more conscious, and anything that can raise your vibration will help you stay in alignment with that frequency of the true self. And so operating through and embodying the true self is how you truly tap into the true wisdom of the divine and become the God self and step into your ability to embody that version of you which you came here to awaken to. And so it is time, and what we're doing collectively, and because we're collectively doing this, we have tipped the scale and we've shifted beyond the past. Now it's a matter of the illusions of what timeline do you want to live in. And so through the ethereal aspects of that, now it's about bringing the ethereal home to your body, which is what the work that Jason and I have been doing, is learning how to bring all of that wisdom in, bringing all that energy in, bringing it home within all this clearing that we've cleared out of the physical spaces, that we're bringing it through us, and it's creating the space to embody that wisdom. And in doing that, that's how we actualize heaven on earth.
Wow. That was pretty cool.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. I hope that answered your question, Raze. I'm talking about you got to get out of the way to let it come through, right? Whew.
Yeah.
Whew. I think I need a nap now. So, if you're just joining us, we've been doing our Shamanic Sunday that we're doing the last couple weeks. Last week, we talked about the work Jason and I have been doing together, the work that we're helping people do, and the work that we're going to bring into the Sedona retreat that we're going to be facilitating in October 3rd through 7th. If you're just joining, you haven't heard, I'm moving to Sedona. I'm so excited in less than 3 weeks. And so we just wanted to come forth and start to share this knowledge, this wisdom, this information that we've been tapping into within ourselves and then together. And then how I keep saying, bring that into the community and help the community heal, help the earth heal, and help bring into form the heaven on earth. And that's what, actually, we were just having this conversation.
Yeah.
That's what Avalon is. And I have legally changed my last name to Avalon earlier this year. And I'm discovering that by going to Sedona, which was not on my radar consciously until out of nowhere. It was for a retreat, but it wasn't like that I'm officially moving there. And only really, I think, I've known that 2 weeks, maybe 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks at the most. Things are happening really quickly for everyone. And so the faster things are moving so fast that the faster we can get out of the way of ourselves and everything and let the divine come through and all of this, the faster we get in alignment with the current and flow that's going to take us to our divine destiny, which is abundance, which is heaven on earth, which is the milk and honey, which is the bringing into form all of the rewards that we deserve. And I don't know about you all, but like I've been through so much that I know I'm receiving more than double for my trouble, and I'm ready for it. So
yeah, I'm ready for it too.
Right?
Yes.
I'm so excited about it. So
yes.
All right. Well, we'll be back next Sunday at 8 p.m. Well, I should say, so y'all know, it's 9 p.m. Eastern time. Most of you know that time better. And we'll be back the next couple of Sundays to do that. And then we're doing the retreat in Sedona, October 3rd through 7th. There'll be some links. You can check out the details about that above and below. And in the meantime, we hope you've connected to some of the energy. And if you are even tuning into this after tonight, make sure to let us know where you're tuning in from. If you had any specific experience come through, if you have any comments, suggestions, we'd love to hear that. And you're so welcome. Thank you for all of you that have joined us. We truly appreciate it. And we will talk to you next time.
Blessings.
And loads of love. And I'm going to say it as it's closing out. May you always face your fears, find freedom, and glow forward on fire. Namaste.